So I haven't actually read the source material to this, so I can't really give you the comparison. I kind of looked up and found some people who did, so we can have a slightly better conversation about this. But this is Lock and Key. I mean, shit. The Spiderwick Chronicles. That's damn. Um, I'm already messing up. I'm sorry. Subscribe because I'm I'm snarky, and yeah, I just called this series out for being Lock and Key. Anywho, uh, so this is this is currently on Roku, so I guess anyone can watch it, but also um, it's on Roku. So I have no idea. I don't even know if this is worth my time, like investing myself in. Roku is not really known for having shows that run yet. I've heard that they want to develop shows that have like multiple seasons and do that and have their own stuff, but I'm not seeing that. I mean, for the most part, they kind of just pick up things that are like half made or mostly made. Like they picked up um the shows that were from that defunct streaming service, and then they picked up the second season of Chad, which should have been shot because that show got canceled by TBS the day it was supposed to premiere its second season. There's no way they didn't have footage. Um, no one is that incompetent. uh, and yeah, so this the Spiderwick Chronicles was originally being developed at Disney Plus, and then they abandoned it. So it's possible that Disney actually put some money into this, and then Roku bought it like half developed, you know. Um, but it stars Christian Slater as the biggest name in this thing. He doesn't actually star him, but it stars some kids I don't think you care about, just to be honest. Um, and one of them was like Olivia Allen Lind, who has been in some stuff, but she's not even the star. She's not even one of the three kids. So she's like Calliope, who's this like other troll child. Um, and Joey Bryant is in this. So there's some people that are in this, but yeah, for the most part, it's like Lock and Key, where they're like two brothers and a sister, and they move to a giant creepy mansion that they inherited, and there's a story behind it and a mystery that they have to uncover. And I was like, man, this is just Lock and Key. Which came first, the chicken or the egg here? So yeah, it plays out. It has a little bit of a different thing with obviously in terms of backstory. At the beginning, we see Christian Slater. So this really shouldn't be. This is like literally the first scene of the show. But spoilers, just in case you came here thinking you wouldn't learn anything about the show. Christian Slater is, I don't know, shouting at somebody because I had no audio description. To be fair, I did watch it on Roku Mobile, and I couldn't get it to pull up anything. I couldn't even get it to pull up like pause and fast forward rewind using with the narrator on. I like nothing. It wouldn't do anything for me. I just eventually when the episode was over, I just had to like close the app. Like I used my headphones to pause the app, to pause the thing, and then just close Roku as it started into the next episode. Um, because nothing came up for me. I was like, this app is awful. It's barely developed with accessibility. I would not recommend. It was the first time that I had watched anything like that on I watched anything on the Roku app on my mobile, but so it was like a whole trial process. So not only was I exploring this series for the first time, but I was also like, oh, you know what? I should check out the Roku mobile and see. What's this to see? Uh, you know, nope. Would not recommend. Would not recommend. It's somewhat functional, but not really, not compared to other apps. Anyway, um, yeah. So I had no audio description. So what happens is anytime there's some sort of like fantasy creature, creature of fanciful creatures in this, like a troll, or well, I guess there's trolls in this or something. Um, what I end up hearing are like people talking, and I love how there was they'll say something like, "Darling, aren't you a little bit thirsty?" And she'll be like, "Yes, I think I am." And I just hear, yep. Okay. I have no idea what just happened. No point of reference. I guess she ate a person. I don't know. I have nothing. But yeah, Slater's begging for his daughter at the beginning of the film, and then also becomes a troll. I have no idea how. I don't know how these people become trolls, or I don't know, whatever they are. Nothing. It's really hard because there's no audio description. So somebody waves a magic wand, and bam, Christian Slater is a bad guy. So then we cut to this family that's moving to Spiderwick, because it's so trendy to name your house. I really want to figure out a name for my house, because after watching things like Saltburn and now Spiderwick, and I'm like, why don't I have a name for my house? I need. Everybody has all these dope names for these houses. Why don't we all just name our houses? Screw addresses. Like, where do you live? I live at East Fall. It's across the street from Lockwood. Just, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so this is a show where the kids are gonna end up getting into hijinks. And in the first episode, we meet a girl who actually has really zero personality. What she's bringing to the table here is that she's a female. And they've given her really no distinctive character traits at all, other than the fact that she's a girl. It's actually really sad. I know nothing about her. We don't know that she likes basketball or anything, actually. She's just, I'm the sister. Cool. Good for you. And then there are the two brothers. One of them is seeking mental health treatment up here, which is why supposedly they're moving to Spiderwick, is because he's had a lot of mental health problems, and he needed a new doctor, and it happens to be this one. And I guess they were lured up here by Christian Slater, and who's the bad guy, and he's gonna be in treatment with, I don't know. Anyway, this kid seems fine. He's I don't know what his problems are. They're like, he's maybe a little selfish sometimes, or doesn't quite process everything, but they don't play him like he's that abnormal of a child. So it's sort of like, we don't see it yet. Like, there's not really like a moment where he's clearly like, oh yeah, wow, you're right, that kid. I'm glad we're getting him help. And then the other brother has two mice. I wish I could remember their names. It's like two names that you're like, how did you come to those names? It's like Sugar Plum and Jeffrey. I know the other one is Jeffrey, but the other one is, Lemon Drop. It was Lemon Drop and Jeffrey. I'm like, how did you pick those names? Like, I want the story behind those names, because what? Like, one of them is sort of like a name, like a normal, like anything could be named Jeffrey. The other one is Lemon Drop. It's just Lemon Drop and Jeffrey. That's how. Either pick fanciful names like Lemon Drop, or pick regular names like Jeffrey. It's so weird. Anyway, the series is fine. It's kind of getting blasted online right now because it's apparently nothing like the books. So once again, the people who wanted a Spiderwick Chronicles adaptation didn't get one. I guess because the movie isn't an adaptation of the books, and now the TV series isn't. So they like thematically took the concept of Spiderwick and made a TV series. That's the best that I was able to figure out. It's really hard because when fans get something and they get really angry, they start attacking a series online. So the series is probably best absorbed by people who haven't who haven't read Spiderwick at all. Because I thought it was fine for the most part. Like didn't blow my mind. And it doesn't have audio description, so it's really hard as a fantasy series for me to be too excited for it. But if I'm trying to like analyze the pilot, which is why I do these, I would say what I can pick up from the pilot structure is that for the most part, it does a good job of explaining things. Sometimes the exposition is a little bit heavy-handed. There's a scene where they're talking in the car, and introducing us to the family, sort of, and the talk about the brother that has the problems is it's a bit much. It's a bit like for the audience for me. It's not a natural conversation that I don't think anybody would actually have. It's like oh yeah, but now we have to move here because this, and now we're doing this, and like I don't have these kind of conversations in real life. This is not a real conversation. This is an exposition conversation. So yeah, sometimes the writing fails itself, but for the most part, what I would say is if Disney Plus bailed on this, why? This is better than a lot of the things they put out. Easily could have been tweaked. This is way better than Willow and like National Treasure. I just sit through both of those. I just instantaneously, I just wish it was on Disney Plus so it had audio description, because like I already vibe better with this show than I did either of those. And those were the ones that got to stay on Disney Plus. And then this is the one that got shuttered away to Roku. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. I guess they didn't want to, probably this thing was like in production and they didn't want to finish production on it. And Roku picked up and the last half of it and ran with it. You know, they were like, well, it's a half done. We'll complete it and then we'll have something for ourselves. That has a name, you know. It's got a name behind it so they can bring people in. Anyway, I don't know the whole story here, but it's better than some of the stuff Disney Plus has put out. And no, I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm not trying to like bash Disney. I'm not doing that. I'm not trying to bash Marvel or anything. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, yes, it's clearly better than some of the things that Disney's put out. You know, their legacy adaptation of Willow, not great. Didn't have great actors in it. And National Treasure, not great. It's kind of a weird follow-up. Of those two series, I probably would have given National Treasure the second season, but neither one of them really deserved a second season. Neither one of them got a second season. This is better than that. This deserved it to at least stay on Disney Plus and have a real shot at an audience. I don't know what it's going to find on Roku. I don't even know what metric Roku is looking for in terms of a second season. Like, if it gets a certain amount of views as a Roku original, what happens? You know, where does it go? Can it get a second season on Roku? I have no idea. So, yeah, we'll find out, I guess, at some point. But the Spiderwick Chronicles, I may recap it. What we're going to do is I'm probably going to watch the second episode on a TV and not rely on the Shitastic app. It's just an atrocious app that I couldn't even get it to pull up controls like I normally can. And see whether or not it has, probably doesn't have audio description. Chad didn't have audio description, so Weird was something that Roku dropped, and when I watched that, it didn't have audio description. I think it does now somewhere, like, because it's available on other streaming platforms. Um, but yeah, it didn't when it dropped. So I don't have high hopes that this thing does have existing audio description, but it's worth mentioning, I guess, that I will give it another try on another platform. And if it does have audio description, I might keep recapping Spiderwick Chronicles because my interest has peaked a little bit. I did love Lock and Key, um, but and this is so very much Lock and Key. This is like, welcome back, Lock and Key. Um, I mean, down to the fact that it's literally like a mother and three kids in a house that they inherited that's spooky and has its own secrets and, like, unique things that are built inside. I mean, there's so many things about this that are just Lock and Key. So just watch Lock and Key instead, because it does have audio description on Netflix, and then just pretend you're watching the Spiderwick Chronicles. That'd be good enough. Anyway, I have to give this unwatchable because there's too many times in this thing where I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Um, like I said, every time like some fantasy creature comes in, you just hear like a sound effect, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't know what just happened. I got nothing. It's just like, okay, cool. I don't know what that is, but sounds gnarly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And if you see a review of episode 2, it means this show has audio description. If you don't see a review of episode 2, it means the show does not have audio description. So, I will see you guys on the other side.